Most gardeners feel pretty proud of themselves when they produce a bumper crop. Their carrots may have been bigger than last year.
Oh, that's a massive one. That is a huge one. That's a beauty, that one.
Or they may have grown some giant potatoes.
Look at that.
But are they anything like these? From a 17-pound pineapple that defied all odds to a super-sized 18-pound spud, here are 15 of the biggest fruits and vegetables ever grown. Before we begin, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and click the notification bell for more amazing videos every day. That being said, let's begin. Number 15, 21.5 pound leek. If you're Paul Rochester from the UK, you're gonna be making a lot of leek dishes. Leek and potato soup, anyone? Paul is an avid gardener who learned everything there is to know about gardening from his late father, Wilfred. As it turns out, his dad's advice is the winning recipe for producing world record-breaking vegetables. In 2014, Paul produced a 21.5 pound leek that looked like a small palm tree. According to Paul, there was a secret to creating such giant vegetables, such as the onion he had previously grown that weighed over 15 pounds. Believe it or not, it's not voodoo magic or genetic modifying. The secret is swing music by Glenn Miller. Every day, Paul plays In the Mood and Moonlight Serenade on a cassette tape to his patch full of vegetables to help them grow. Of course, it helps that he also uses fertilizer, plenty of water, and a lot of TLC. Alongside leeks, Paul also grows tomatoes, cabbages, cauliflower, parsnips, carrots, and potatoes. According to his family, he spends more time in his vegetable plot than the house. Now it's time for the star topic. Has a passionate gardener redefined the meaning of a bumper crop? Some impressive things have been dug out of gardens, but this watermelon is on an entirely new level. This photo was sent in to us showing an oversized melon on the back of a large truck. It takes up all the free space available and is tied down so as not to fall off. Tell us, is it a real watermelon or is this a prop of some type? Could someone grow fruit that big? Comment down below with the hashtag star topic and let us know your opinion in relation to what we just showed on screen. With that said, let's keep things moving. Number 14, 11-pound lemon. When life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. But when farmer Aharon Shimol from Kfar Ziatam, Israel gives you lemons, you better have strong muscles to hold them. Weighing in at 11 pounds 9.7 ounces, Aharon's lemon became the heaviest to ever exist back in 2003. His record blew the previous one out of the water, held by Donald and Charlotte Knutson from Whittier, California, with a lemon weighing 8 pounds 8 ounces. In comparison, Aharon's lemon is heavier than a human head and has a circumference of 29 inches. It's also nearly 14 inches high. The record-breaking lemon was grown on Aharon's citrus farm in Israel, and it wasn't the only one. Two lemons were very similar in size, with one slightly larger than the other to clinch the world record. Fortunately, for those who have the task of picking the fruit on the Shimol family farm, all other lemons on Aharon's citrus farm were of regular size. The average lemon weighs around 3 to 4 ounces, which means that Aharon's record-breaking one was 97% larger than the average lemon. Number 13, 7-pound grapefruit. You would be forgiven for thinking that what Louisiana man Doug Meyer is holding here is a strange colored basketball. After all, it's roughly the same size as one. However, the unique yellow ball was, in fact, a grapefruit. The huge 7-pound, 14.6-ounce grapefruit was grown by Mary Beth and Doug Meyer and earned them 2 world record certificates in 2019. It's not only the world's heaviest grapefruit, but also the largest in circumference. At 28 3/4 inches, it's nearly as large as an NBA basketball. However, you wouldn't want to try and bounce it. The grapefruit is also 13.6 ounces heavier than the one that set the last world record in Brazil in 2006. Most average grapefruits are about 3.9 to 5.9 inches and weigh around 7 ounces. It's clear to see that this grapefruit never got that memo. The official word was released in late 2019, but equipment from the State Agriculture and Forestry Commission was used to do the weighing and measuring in January 2019. The couple was awarded a certificate as proof of their accolade in an official ceremony in August 2019. Number 12. 18-pound pineapple. Christine McCallum from Bakewell, Northern Territory, Australia, has been a passionate pineapple planter for years. But it's not the delicious and sweet fruit that keeps her planting them year after year, but rather her desire to keep her dogs and grandchildren off the garden. By pure accident, Christine managed to grow the world's most giant pineapple in 2011, weighing in at 18.25 pounds. It has now taken the title away from E. Kamuk of Ice Village, Papua New Guinea, with his 17-pound, 12-ounce pineapple. Christine planted the fruit 2.5 years before she dug it up in 2011 and was surprised at its large sizing. She had only been using water to feed it. Not only was it over 18 pounds, but it also measured over 12 inches long with a girth of over 25 inches. According to Christine, the giant pineapple makes regular-sized ones look like babies. Unfortunately for Christine, there will be no chance of breeding giant pineapples from her record holder. The pineapple didn't produce offshoots, but she's keeping an eye on the fruit that spawned it to see whether she can break her own record in the future. Number 11. 18-pound onion. A regular-sized onion can make you shed more than a few tears, but can you imagine the bucket load of tears you'll be producing with a record-breaking onion? At 25 times the size of a regular 12-ounce onion, Tony Glover's onion from the UK is turning heads and making them cry. The onion weighed in at 18 pounds 11 ounces and is around 32 inches around the middle. It looks every bit like an onion that you would expect to see in the supermarket, but dramatically supersized. Tony is an amateur gardener from Moira, South Derbyshire, and has been gardening and growing vegetables since he was 16. While he has grown onions to around 5 pounds, this was the first time he had managed to produce one to a record-breaking size. However, it wasn't by luck that it turned out to be a healthy, large vegetable. Tony said he had planted it in his greenhouse, which gets heated in winter and cooled in summer. He also has grow lights to simulate sunshine and feeds them nitrogen-based food with the correct humidity levels. It's clear to see that such conditions are a recipe for success, for this onion is 10 ounces heavier than that of the previous record holder, Peter Glazebrook from Nottinghamshire. Number 10. 113-pound marrow. That was the reality for Ken Dade, the Norfolk, UK man who is now the proud title holder of the world's most giant marrow. Although it's not the prettiest marrow, it doesn't have to be. It merely has to be the largest. At 113 pounds, it definitely ticks all the boxes. Ken has been growing vegetables his entire life, but started getting interested in growing giant marrows when he retired. He put down the record-breaking marrow to experience and ideal soil drainage courtesy of reclaimed marshland. Ken said it also helps to have the right seeds, luck, and correct weather conditions. Marrows enjoy warm, humid weather and at least 2 hours of rainfall twice a week. The seeds he has been developing for 2 decades are now the envy of all his fellow gardeners. When he cut open a marrow during one of the shows he attended, everyone flocked around to see what they were like. It's clear to see that Ken's marrows are not like the ones you'll find in your average supermarket. Number 9. 8-pound tomato. When you already grow giant pumpkins, it makes sense to move on to something new. You can then establish whether you're a one-trick pony or have more talents up your sleeve. Dan McCoy from Minnesota is proving that if you can grow one type of giant vegetable, you can grow them all. Up until 2014, Dan had been growing giant pumpkins for 3 years, but was kind of curious about what it would be like to grow large tomatoes. He chose the Big Zack variety, which produces a naturally large tomato on a mega bloom, and let it do its thing. The results were surprising. Not only did Dan break a world record with his 8.41-pound tomato, but he also did so in an area that has a shorter growing season than most other places in the world. If that's not talent, we don't know what is. Dan planted the Big Zack tomato seed in April 2014, then moved it into his garden that May. He then let it grow until it had a substantial blossom. By then, he had smashed the previous tomato record of 7 pounds 12 ounces, which had stood for nearly 3 decades. Number 8. 138-pound cabbage. A first-world problem for many people is they buy a whole cabbage and end up with a lot of wastage. Because after all, who really needs to eat an entire cabbage? So when Scott Robb from Palmer, Alaska grew a 138.25-pound cabbage, he was probably wondering just how many coleslaws he would need to make to get through it all. Scott Robb is no stranger to giant vegetables. Before his record-breaking cabbage, he had already grown record-setting kale and turnips for over 2 decades. His veggies are always head-turners when he enters them in the Alaska State Fair. If you're wondering what it takes to grow a cabbage that weighs nearly as much as the average American woman, then you'll be pleased to know there are no secrets. Scott says the long summer days in Alaska and a lack of total darkness helped the growth. Cabbages can continue to grow long after they may have stopped in other states. He also believes the correct seeds and cultivation techniques help, as well as water, fertilizer, and a lot of daily care. So what did he end up doing with his giant cabbage? As with most large cabbages he has produced in the past, Scott believes it either went to a wildlife refuge or a food bank. Number 7. 18-pound sweet potato. A Chester, South Carolina family are proving that you don't have to be an expert gardener to haul in one of the most gigantic vegetables on record. Jay Byers and his 10-year-old son Bryson planted sweet potatoes in April 2018, and it was the first time they had ever done so. For days, Bryson had been begging to dig up the large potato after rain washed away the dirt surrounding its crown. At that point, the family knew it was big, but had no idea just how big it was. When they finally cultivated the potato in October 2018, they were blown away by its size. Not only was it huge, but weighing it revealed that it was a whopping 18.2 pounds. South Carolina doesn't keep records on the largest sweet potatoes, but the previous record was in Spartanburg County, where students from Carlisle Foster's Grove Elementary grew one weighing 12.45 pounds. If that sweet potato is the official record holder, then the Byers family haul is nearly 6 pounds heavier. Their potato could easily provide enough filling for over 10 sweet potato pies. Number 6. 22-pound carrot. If carrots improve vision like you're told when you're a kid, then eating this world record-breaking carrot will surely make you see through walls. 34-year-old father Chris Quale from Minnesota dug up a strange-looking carrot that would prove to be quite lucrative. Not only would it make a monster of a carrot cake, but it would also become the world's heaviest carrot, weighing in at 22.4 pounds. This carrot now bumps Peter Glazebrook from the UK off the top spot, whose carrot weighed 20 pounds and stole the record in 2014. When you think of a giant carrot, you imagine a long, slender, smooth carrot with a wide and narrow end. Chris's carrot is anything but. It's a tangled mess of knotted carrots woven around each other, almost as if seeds were planted in a pile and left to their own devices. If there were a world record for the ugliest carrot, Chris's one surely would have won that one too. Now that he's got one world record under his belt, Chris is planning to grow giant watermelons, pumpkins, and tomatoes. Number 5. 2,624-pound pumpkin. 2,624 pounds and 6 ounces. You heard correctly. The world record for the largest pumpkin is 2,624.6 pounds. That's about 3/5 the weight of a giraffe, 7/10 as heavy as a car, and 2.5 times heavier than a polar bear. Because who doesn't want to hear that their pumpkin is heavier than a big fluffy white bear?
Oh my gosh.
For the second time in a 3-year period, Germany took out the title, with Mathieu Willemin bringing the world-breaking pumpkin to the European Championship weigh-off event in 2016. In the previous years, the record-breaking pumpkins had come from Canada and the United States, but 2014 saw German Benny Meyer take home the title for Germany with a 2,323.7-pound pumpkin. However, pumpkin growing can quickly become as competitive as a running race. Each passionate pumpkin patch professional wants to have the biggest pumpkin in the world, and records are breaking nearly every year. For example, in 2014, the heaviest pumpkin was 1,446 pounds. 1 year later, that record was beaten by a mere 3 pounds. Time will tell when 2,624.6 pounds becomes a distant memory as well. Number 4. Beetroot. Beetroot is a delicious and versatile vegetable that nearly anyone with a bit of dirt can grow. You can juice them for a tasty beverage, or roast them up for a salad, or to pair with feta cheese and pine nuts like some kind of Gordon Ramsay wannabe. However, you'll soon tire of eating and drinking beetroot if you had one of the world's largest beetroots growing in your garden. Self-proclaimed vegan athlete Jake Mace, who has a YouTube channel dedicated to urban gardening, dug up a giant beetroot that he said looked like a giant heart transplant. He believes it's the biggest beet he's ever grown, but is it the biggest ever? Without measuring and weighing it, no one can know for sure. But the current record holder for the longest beetroot is Joe Atherton from the UK. Joe's beet measured 26 feet 1.22 inches long and was verified at the UK National Giant Vegetables Championship. Joe also holds records for the longest radish and carrot. The title of the heaviest beetroot goes to the Forty family of Cwmbran, UK, consisting of Jamie, Kevin, Marjorie, and Gareth. The family produced a 52-pound, 14-ounce beetroot in 2019, which blew the previous record out of the water. Ian Neal used to hold the title for 18 years with his 51-pound, 9.4-ounce beet. Number 3. 5.6-pound avocado. What did the guy at the party say when he realized there was nothing left to dip his tortilla chip in? I've hit guac bottom. There'll be a never-ending supply of guacamole if the Puccini family are whipping it up, though. In 2019, the Puccini family from Hawaii set the world record for growing the world's heaviest avocado. It weighed in at a whopping 5.6 pounds, taking over the record from Felicidad Pasilo in Hawaii, whose avocado weighed 5.5 pounds. To get their name in the Guinness Record Book, the family had to hunt down a certified scale with which to weigh the large avocado, but they will be pleased they put in the effort. Julianne Puccini said that her family had received the avocado seed that produced the record holder from her brother-in-law, who had taken it from her parents' tree. From the flowering time to its harvest, the entire growth process of the monster avocado took 10 months. Now the family can have all the smashed avocado on toast they want, and millennials will be lining up at their door for a taste of the action. Number 2. Longest banana plantation. Bananas are an intriguing fruit. Around 400 million people rely on them as their primary source of calories, and you can even use the inside skin to shine your shoes. If that doesn't spell versatility, then we don't know what does. But bananas can also be quite unusual in how they grow, or at least they are in this backyard. The Musa chiliocarpa banana plant has produced a buig, which is a bunch of fruits so long that it touches the ground. Bananas grow out of every crevice on the plant, meaning it's a highly productive tree that will surely provide many snacking opportunities in the future. While there's no world record to suggest that this tree bears the most fruit out of any other, there's no denying it's impressive. If you want to know what the biggest banana in the world is, though, you'll have to find it in Africa. A hybrid banana exists known as the rhino horn plantain, which ranges between 12 and 14 inches. It can also bear fruit up to 2 feet long, which means you're bound to get stack loads of banana loaves out of a single piece of fruit. Number 1. Biggest mango. The world record for the biggest mango used to be 5.29 pounds, set by Colin Porter in Hawaii. However, that record was well and truly broken in 2009 when it was found that Sergio and Maria Sakaro Bodiangan from Iligan City in the Philippines regularly produce mangoes between 3.3 and 5.5 pounds. Instead of putting them into a competition for official weighing, however, they often just give them away. However, they came to the attention of agriculture officials when they entered one of their largest mangoes in the Agriculture Department's contest in 2009. They were honored by the Senate and House of Representatives for their feat, because there was a lot of pride that the Filipino could produce such giant mangoes. The claim to fame wasn't without its naysayers, however. In disbelief that giant mangoes could be grown in the Philippines, Canadian growers and those from other countries hinted that they were produced with performance-enhancing fertilizers. The Bodiangans denied this, saying they are just jealous and want to keep the Filipino down. However the mangoes came to exist, it's clear you'll be able to make a giant mango lassi with one. Can you imagine trying to find room in your refrigerator for record-breaking vegetables? Some of these fruit and vegetables are absolutely enormous. What's the largest vegetable or fruit you've ever grown? Also, check out our other cool stuff showing up on screen right now. See you next time.